Do you feel like you're standing in the eye of life's storm? Pressure piling up, deadlines roaring like thunder, emotions crashing like tidal waves that sweep everything away, and your mind trapped in an invisible, iron grip. Every day isn't a peaceful journey, but a relentless battle against invisible enemies, fear, doubt, and anger silently destroying your inner peace. But did you know that inside every person lies a power that can overcome all these storms? An unbreakable fortress of the mind standing firm amid the tempest, unshaken no matter what the world throws at it. This is not a fairy tale or an empty promise. It is a call to awaken the hidden strength within you, a mental revolution forged by masters of willpower, great warriors of thought, and living legends of resilience. In the next few minutes, I will arm you with 10 ironclad rules, mental weapons that can transform chaos into clarity, fear into power, and weakness into unstoppable strength. Are you ready to reclaim control over your mind? Ready to break free from the chains of your emotions and rise stronger than ever? Let's begin the journey of building a resilient mind, an unbreakable fortress that no force can shake. 1. Separate feelings from reactions. How often have you felt overwhelmed by a sudden rush of anger, frustration, or sadness, only to regret what you said or did in the heat of the moment? Maybe it was a harsh word spoken too quickly, a decision made in haste, or an impulse that you later wished you had controlled. These moments are all too common, and they reveal a crucial truth about the human experience. It is easy to believe that our feelings must control our actions. When something triggers us, a rude comment, an unexpected failure, or an unfair situation, the natural reaction is often immediate and unfiltered. Our emotions surge like a tidal wave, and without awareness, we get swept away, lashing out in anger, retreating into silence, or reacting impulsively in ways that harm ourselves or others. It can feel as if we are powerless in these moments, slaves to the whims of our feelings. But here's the secret, a truth that Stoic philosophy has long illuminated: you are not your emotions. Feelings come and go like waves on the sea, rising, crashing, and retreating. But your reaction to those feelings is a choice. It is within this choice, in the space between feeling and action, that your true power lies. Imagine the power of that pause in a moment where you catch yourself before reacting impulsively. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a storm, calm and steady, watching the lightning flash, but refusing to be struck by it. This pause is where you choose calm instead of chaos, control instead of confusion. This practice is not about suppressing how you feel or pretending emotions don't exist. It's about mastering the space between feeling and action, recognizing your emotions clearly, understanding their nature, and then choosing how to respond with clarity, wisdom, and purpose. The Stoics taught this deeply. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers, reminded himself constantly, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is not mere philosophy. It is a practical guide to mental resilience. So the next time you feel that intense emotion rising, whether anger, sadness, anxiety, or frustration, stop. Take a deep breath. Allow yourself that moment to observe the feeling without immediate judgment or reaction. Ask yourself, is this feeling helping me or hurting me? Is it grounded in reality, or is it a projection of fears or assumptions? Then consciously decide your reaction. This moment of awareness can be brief, but it is transformational. It shifts you from being a passive victim of your emotions to an active master of your mind. When you consistently practice this separation between feelings and reactions, you begin to reclaim control over your inner world. You protect your peace from unnecessary disruption. You build an unshakable mind, one that no external storm can break. Consider how this practice impacts relationships. How often do conflicts escalate because of unchecked emotional reactions? How many words are spoken in anger that wound deeply? By pausing and deciding your response, you prevent harm. Foster understanding and build stronger connections. On a personal level, this mastery reduces regret and emotional turmoil. Instead of being tossed about by every emotional wave, you navigate life with steadiness and grace. You become resilient, able to face difficulties without losing your center. But how do we cultivate this skill? It begins with mindfulness and self-awareness. Regularly tune in to your emotional states. Notice when emotions arise and practice observing them as if you were an impartial witness. What does anger feel like in your body? How does sadness manifest? When you recognize these patterns, you create a mental space that allows the pause. You can also develop simple techniques to help deep breathing, counting to 10, or even stepping away briefly from a triggering situation. These tools help create the gap between feeling and reaction. It's also crucial to remember that this is a process, a lifelong journey. There will be moments when emotions overwhelm you despite your best efforts. That's natural. The Stoics teach compassion for oneself as well as understanding that mastery grows through practice, patience, and persistence. Moreover, recognizing that emotions are neither good nor bad, but signals to be understood, changes your relationship with them. Fear may warn of danger. Anger may highlight injustice. Sadness may signal loss. But none have the power to dictate your actions unless you allow it. Over time, this separation builds mental clarity. You no longer react out of habit or impulse, but respond with intention. This is true freedom, the freedom to choose how you engage with the world regardless of external events or internal storms. In the grand tapestry of life, mastering the space between feelings and reactions is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It cultivates peace, wisdom, and strength. It allows you to move through challenges with grace and to build a life grounded in calm and purpose. So today, begin practicing the power of the pause. The next time emotion rises, remember you are not your feelings. You are the observer, the chooser, the master of your mind. In that choice lies your true strength, unshakable, unwavering, and free. 2. When life provokes you, don't show weakness. Have you ever felt that burning urge to react when someone pushes your buttons? Maybe it's a colleague who constantly tests your patience, a friend who challenges your choices, or a stranger's careless words that sting like poison. The instinct to fight back, to defend yourself, or to prove a point feels natural and is almost impossible to resist. But here's the truth that few dare to admit. Every time you react impulsively, you give away your power. The louder and fiercer your response, the easier it is for others and life itself to control your emotions and actions. The strongest people don't feed the fire. They don't waste their energy trying to win every battle or justify themselves to every critic. Instead, they choose silence, calm, and self-control. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers, reflected deeply on this. You have power over your mind, over external events. Accept this, and you will find peace. When provoked, the wisest response is often to say nothing at all, to hold your ground in silence. Imagine the power it takes to not respond to insults, to stay calm when others try to drag you into chaos, and to maintain your dignity when life throws unfair punches. This strength is rare. It separates the masters of their fate from those who are slaves to circumstance. Think about the last time someone insulted or provoked you. How often did you feel the sudden urge to lash out, to defend yourself fiercely? And afterward, how typically did you regret those words or actions? Reacting in anger may feel like victory at the moment, but it typically escalates conflict, drains your energy, and steals your peace. It hands control over to the provocateur and chains you to a cycle of emotional turmoil. But when you choose not to react, when you pause, breathe, and hold your center, you reclaim your power. You say to the world, "You don't control me." This isn't a weakness, it's courage. Courage to rise above petty fights, courage to protect your inner peace at all costs. So how do you practice this rule starting today? Begin by recognizing the signs that you're about to reach the quickening heartbeat, the tight chest, the racing thoughts. Then pause. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is reacting right now going to help me? Most of the time, the answer is no. The power lies in choosing silence and responding with calm when the world demands noise. Imagine facing provocation not with rage or frustration, but with unwavering calm and strength. Imagine owning your emotional power so completely that no one can shake it. This is the path of the unshakable mind, and it's a path open to you. 3. Accept that life will never be fair, but you'll adapt. Anyway, how often have you found yourself frustrated when life didn't go according to your plan? Maybe it was being passed over for a promotion, a sudden loss, or witnessing injustice around you. We all wish for a world where things are fair, where effort is rewarded, and where pain doesn't come without reason. However, the truth is that life is inherently unfair. Fighting against this reality only traps you in anger, disappointment, and helplessness. The greatest minds in history, the Stoics, understood this deeply. They knew that external events, other people's actions, and the chaos of the world were beyond our control. What we can control, however, is how we respond. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You suffer more in imagination than in reality." It's not the unfairness itself that breaks us, it's our refusal to accept it. Imagine if instead of wasting your energy resisting the unfairness of life, you learned to flow with it, to adapt, to find strength in change, and to grow through adversity. This doesn't mean giving up or accepting injustice blindly. It means focusing your energy on what matters, your values, your actions, and your growth, rather than on what you cannot change. Think about it. When something unfair happens, how do you respond? Do you let bitterness and anger consume you, or do you step back, breathe, and ask, what is the best way forward? Choosing to adapt frees you from the chains of victimhood. It gives you the power to take control of your own story, no matter how chaotic the world may be. Today, start practicing this mindset. When life knocks you down with unfair blows, stand back up stronger. Embrace the unpredictability, and keep moving forward with grace and resilience. This is the secret of those who thrive. Not because life is easy, but because they refuse to be defeated. 4. Stop explaining yourself. No one deserves to fully understand you. How often do you find yourself caught in the endless cycle of justifying your choices, explaining why you took a certain path, defending your values, or trying to make others understand who you are? The pressure to be accepted, to be understood, can feel overwhelming. But here's the truth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your life. Seeking approval or validation from others is a trap that weakens your sense of self. The more you try to justify yourself, the more you hand over your power to the opinions of others. Real freedom comes from living in alignment with your values and principles, not from meeting others' expectations or trying to earn their approval. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that other people's opinions are beyond his control. Instead of wasting energy on trying to please everyone, he focused on being true to his moral compass. Think about it. How many times have you changed your decisions or doubted yourself because of what others might think? How many moments have you felt pressured to explain or defend yourself when deep down you knew your path was right for you? Trying to be understood by everyone is a losing battle. Not everyone will get you, and that's okay. What matters is that you understand and accept yourself. When you stop explaining yourself, you stop being a prisoner to others' judgments. You reclaim your autonomy and confidence. Start small. The next time someone questions your choices, resist the urge to justify. Simply say, "This is my decision." No excuses, no lengthy explanations. Imagine the freedom of owning your story completely, unapologetically, and confidently. This is a powerful step toward building an unshakable mind. 5. No one should control your mood. Hat. Power belongs to you. Have you ever let someone's harsh words or a difficult situation completely derail your mood? Maybe a rude comment from a coworker, a disagreement with a friend, or a sudden setback left you feeling frustrated, angry, or defeated. It's easy to believe that external circumstances control how we feel. But here's the vital truth. Your emotions are your responsibility. No one can control your mood unless you allow it. The moment you give someone else the power to dictate your emotional state, you become a passive participant in your own experience. You surrender your inner peace and hand over control of your happiness. The Stoics understood this profoundly. They taught that emotions don't arise because of external events, but from how we interpret those events. Two people can face the same situation but feel very differently depending on their mindset. When you realize that you can choose your reaction, you take back the power. You learn to pause, breathe, and detach from situations that threaten to pull you off balance. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging your emotions but refusing to be ruled by them. You become the master of your inner world, not its prisoner. Start paying attention to your triggers. Notice when frustration or anger rises inside you. Then ask yourself, do I want to let this control me? If the answer is no, take a deep breath, reset your focus, and decide on a different response. Imagine how freeing it would feel to know that no one, not a single person or event, steal your peace without your permission. This is a fundamental step in building an unshakable mind. 6. Silence is your most dangerous weapon. Have you ever been caught in a situation where someone tries to provoke you to pull you into an argument, but you choose to remain silent? At that moment, when the world expects you to react, to defend, to strike back with words, you make a choice that many find difficult. You choose silence. And in that silence lies a power unlike any other. In today's fast-paced, noisy world, where opinions are shouted and reactions are expected instantly, silence is revolutionary. It is an act of incredible strength. While many rush to defend themselves, explain their actions, or prove their point, choosing silence disarms the situation entirely. It shifts the balance of power to your favor quietly, but unmistakably. The Stoics understood this better than most. Marcus Aurelius, a man who faced countless political intrigues and personal challenges, knew that the wise do not react impulsively. Instead, they pause, assess, and respond with clarity and restraint. Words spoken in haste often lead to regret and deepen conflicts, but silence creates space for reflection, for control, and for calm. Imagine the freedom that comes from not feeling compelled to fill every silence with words. Imagine no longer needing to justify yourself or convince others constantly. Silence allows you to control the narrative in subtle, profound ways. It forces others to confront their own emotions, often leaving them puzzled or reconsidering their behavior. When used strategically, silence can diffuse tension before it escalates. It preserves your peace of mind, protects your dignity, and prevents unnecessary conflict. It is a shield and a sword, a weapon of mastery over yourself and the situation. So how can you begin to wield silence as your most powerful weapon today? The next time you find yourself in a tense or provocative situation, pause. Take just 5 seconds, a brief moment to gather your thoughts. Ask yourself, will my words add value here, or will they merely fuel the fire? More often than not, silence will be your strongest response. This is not avoidance or weakness. It is mastery over your emotions, your words, and ultimately, your life. It is the quiet confidence of someone who knows that not every battle is theirs to fight, and that true strength often lies in restraint. Over time, this practice cultivates inner calm and resilience. You become less reactive and more deliberate. You protect your energy and maintain your focus on what truly matters. In relationships, silence can open doors to deeper understanding. It invites others to express themselves fully and can lead to more meaningful dialogue when words are finally spoken. In professional settings, silence signals confidence and control. It shows you are not desperate for approval or quick to be swayed by provocation. It commands respect without uttering a single word. The Stoics teach us that we cannot always control what others say or do, but we can control how we respond. Silence is one of the most powerful tools at our disposal, a tool that empowers us to rise above chaos and navigate life with grace. So embrace silence. Practice it daily. Learn to pause before you speak, to listen more than you talk, and to allow stillness to guide your actions. In the end, silence will speak louder than any argument ever could. 7. Don't expect respect. Make it necessary. How often do we find ourselves chasing respect as if it were something to be begged for? In our careers, relationships, social circles, or even casual encounters, the desire to be acknowledged, valued, and admired is deeply human. It's natural to want others to recognize our worth, to treat us with dignity. Yet here lies a profound truth many overlook. Respect is not something you simply ask for or demand. It is something you earn through the way you live, the choices you make, and the character you build. Respect is not a prize handed out like a trophy or a gift given lightly. It is a reflection, a mirror of who you are inside and how you carry yourself in the world. The most respected people don't need to shout or insist that others honor them. Instead, they embody respect in every thought, word, and deed. Their presence alone commands a natural honor that cannot be ignored. Imagine a person whose integrity is unshakable, whose strength is quiet but unmistakable, and whose kindness radiates without condition. Such a person creates an aura that draws respect effortlessly. They do not waste energy chasing approval or validation. Instead, their focus remains on being the kind of human being who naturally inspires admiration, someone whose actions and values resonate more loudly than any boast or claim. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic Roman emperor renowned for his wisdom and leadership, lived by this principle. Despite holding immense power and authority, he never flaunted his position or demanded deference. Instead, it was his character, his discipline, humility, justice, and courage that earned him the unwavering respect of those around him, both in his time and across the centuries. His life itself was a lesson. Respect is a byproduct of living true to your values, not a reward to be chased. Chasing respect, on the other hand, is exhausting and often futile. It drains your energy and dilutes your inner power. When you base your worth on the approval of others, you become a prisoner to their opinions, constantly shifting and changing to fit expectations. This leads to anxiety, frustration, and a loss of authentic self. But when you turn your focus inward, when you commit to living authentically and standing firm in your values, respect becomes inevitable. It flows naturally from the strength of your convictions and the consistency of your actions. People sense this genuineness. They feel it in your presence and respond with admiration rather than obligation. Making respect necessary means refusing to compromise on who you are for the sake of pleasing others. It means standing tall in your integrity even when it's difficult or unpopular. It means leading by example, showing kindness without weakness and strength without arrogance. This path is not easy. It requires courage. The courage to be vulnerable yet steadfast to face criticism, without faltering, to accept that not everyone will respect you and to remain true regardless. But the reward is profound. A life where respect is not something you chase, but something that naturally flows to you, enriching your relationships and your sense of self. When you live this way, you transform respect from a fragile expectation into a powerful consequence of your character. You no longer need to ask for respect because you have made it an undeniable necessity through your life's example. Remember, respect begins with you, how you treat yourself and others, the standards you set, and the integrity you uphold. So choose to live in a way that demands respect, not through words, but through unwavering authenticity and honor. In doing so, you not only elevate yourself, but inspire those around you to rise as well, creating a ripple effect of dignity, strength, and true leadership. 8. Never show your weaknesses to those who can't fix them. It's natural to want to share your struggles, to seek empathy or advice when life weighs heavily on your shoulders. But not everyone is equipped to help you, and revealing your vulnerabilities to the wrong people can leave you exposed, misunderstood, or even weakened. True strength comes from knowing when and with whom to share your burdens. The Stoics valued self-reliance and inner resilience, reminding us that not every pain needs to be aired or every fear confessed. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on processing struggles internally and seeking guidance only from those who could genuinely support and uplift him. Think about the last time you opened up to someone and felt drained afterward. That's a sign you shared with the wrong person. Choosing wisely who you let into your inner world protects your emotional well-being and preserves your strength. This doesn't mean shutting people out entirely. It means being mindful and selective. Share your weaknesses only with those who truly understand, who offer constructive help, and who can carry your weight alongside you. Imagine the freedom and power of safeguarding your vulnerabilities, keeping them safe from those who might use them against you or leave you feeling more vulnerable. This is a vital step in building an unbreakable mind, knowing when to stand alone and when to lean on others who truly support you. 9. Don't argue with emotional people. Let them destroy themselves. Have you ever found yourself trying to reason with someone who was overwhelmed by their emotions? Someone so caught up in anger, fear, or sadness that they simply could not hear your words. No matter how calm, logical, or patient you were, your voice seemed to vanish into a storm of feelings that drowned out all reason. It's a frustrating and exhausting trap, one that pulls you into chaos without bringing any resolution. Emotional people often aren't seeking solutions at the moment. What they truly desire is validation for their feelings to be heard, acknowledged, and understood. They are not looking for answers, compromise, or rational discussion. Attempting to argue or reason with them only pours fuel onto the fire, intensifying the emotional storm and dragging you deeper into their turmoil. The Stoics understood this dynamic deeply. Epictetus warned against engaging with those controlled by unchecked emotions because logic and reason rarely penetrate such storms. When someone is trapped in anger, fear, or despair, their capacity to listen or comprehend is limited. Your efforts to argue or convince typically fall on deaf ears and sometimes make things worse. The wisest course of action, therefore, is not to fight the storm with words, but to remain calm and composed yourself. When necessary, step away. Protect your peace of mind instead of engaging in a battle you cannot win. Know that not every conflict deserves your energy, and not every person is ready to hear reason. Imagine the power of refusing to engage, watching from a distance as their emotional storm rages, fully aware that you remain untouched by it. This is the strength of the Stoic mindset, to be the calm in the eye of the hurricane, unshaken by the chaos swirling around you. By not playing into emotional chaos, you preserve your clarity and strength. You maintain control over your own mind, rather than surrendering it to the tempest of another's feelings. This restraint allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, and ensures that your energy is invested where it can truly make a difference. So the next time you face an emotionally charged person, take a deep breath. Acknowledge their feelings silently. You do not need to verbally validate or dispute them. Sometimes, simply recognizing someone's pain internally is enough for you to maintain compassion without losing yourself. If the situation calls for it, remove yourself gracefully. Walking away is not defeat. It is wisdom. It is an act of self-control and clarity, recognizing that some battles are best left unfought. This restraint is not a weakness. It is one of the most profound acts of wisdom and self-control. It protects your peace, conserves your strength, and preserves your ability to act effectively in the world. Remember, you cannot control others' emotions, but you can control your response. Choosing silence over argument, distance over engagement is a powerful choice that safeguards your well-being and mental health. In the end, emotional storms often consume themselves. Those caught in the grip of unchecked feelings will eventually exhaust their energy and clarity. By refusing to be drawn in, you stand apart, ready to offer calm reason and support when the storm subsides on your terms and in your time. 10. True intelligence is acting with a cold mind in hot situations. How many times have you reacted impulsively in moments of stress or conflict, only to regret your actions later? Maybe it was an angry word spoken too quickly, a decision made in haste, or a choice driven by fear or frustration rather than clear thought. These moments are all too common, and they reveal a critical truth when everything around you feels chaotic and overwhelming. It's incredibly easy to let emotions cloud your judgment, pushing you toward rash decisions that often do more harm than good. True intelligence, however, is not measured by how quickly you react, nor by how loud or forceful your response is. Instead, true intelligence lies in your ability to remain calm, clear-headed, and rational when the pressure is at its highest. It is about stepping back from the heat of the moment, taking a deep breath, and choosing to think with purpose rather than be swept away by raw emotion. The Stoic philosophers, particularly Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, placed immense value on cultivating what they called a cold mind. a mind that remains steady, detached, and discerning during crisis or conflict. They taught that wisdom is born from the ability to detach yourself from immediate chaos, to see beyond the noise and confusion, and to assess the situation with clarity and reason. Imagine the power of making decisions from a place of calm and control, rather than being swept away by the temporary storm of feelings that so often blind us to what truly matters. This ability transforms challenges into opportunities and setbacks into lessons. This skill is not something you are born with. It is cultivated through consistent practice and discipline. Every time you pause before reacting, breathe deeply before responding, and choose reason over impulse, you strengthen this invaluable mental muscle. Consider the metaphor of a raging fire. If you jump into the flames impulsively, you get burned. But if you step back, analyze the situation, and approach with caution and strategy, you can control the fire or even use it to your advantage. Your cold mind acts like that calm observer navigating danger with wisdom. In practical terms, cultivating this cold mind begins with awareness. When you feel stress or strong emotions rising, train yourself to recognize the signs: a racing heart, tense muscles, rapid thoughts. These are signals to slow down, breathe, and regain your composure. Techniques such as deep breathing, counting to 10, or briefly stepping away from a heated situation can create the vital space you need to reset your thinking. The pause may feel uncomfortable at first, especially when adrenaline is high, but it is in that pause that true intelligence is forged. Marcus Aurelius often reflected that you have power over your mind, not outside events. This reminds us that while we cannot always control what happens around us, we can control how we respond. By acting with a cold mind, you protect your peace and ensure that your choices align with your values and long-term goals rather than fleeting emotions. Epictetus emphasized that wisdom and strength come from mastering yourself, your thoughts, feelings, and impulses. The ability to stay calm in the heat of conflict does not mean ignoring your emotions, but recognizing them without allowing them to dictate your actions. The benefits of this mastery are profound. Acting with a cold mind leads to wiser decisions, more effective problem-solving, and deeper resilience. It prevents regrets born from hasty reactions and fosters respect from others who see your steadiness and composure. Moreover, this skill empowers you in relationships, work, and life challenges. It allows you to navigate criticism without defensiveness, handle conflict without aggression, and pursue your goals without being derailed by stress. So the next time you face a heated moment, remember to ask yourself, what would I do if I were thinking clearly? Give yourself the gift of that pause. Breathe deeply, step back mentally, and respond with calm purpose. Over time, this practice becomes second nature. Your cold mind will become your greatest ally, helping you steer through life's storms with grace, wisdom, and unwavering strength. In embracing this principle, you not only protect your peace, but also move closer to your highest potential, making decisions that serve your true self and lead you steadily toward your goals. Mastering your mind is the greatest victory you can achieve in life. It's not about avoiding emotions or pretending challenges don't exist. It's about deciding how you respond to every moment. By applying these 10 unbreakable mental rules, you gain control over your emotional world, build resilience, and become unstoppable in the face of adversity. Remember, it's not the events in life that define you, it's your reaction to them. Start today. Pause when stress rises. Choose calm over chaos. Own your story without excuses. Stand strong when provoked. Protect your peace with silence. Earn respect by living truthfully. Share your struggles wisely. Walk away from needless arguments. And above all, think clearly when it matters most. Your peace of mind is your most precious asset. Don't let anyone or anything take that from you. Stay calm, stay focused, and watch your life transform into one that is truly unbreakable.